Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Killer advice. Bounty Killer is urging Jamaicans to continue to practice COVID-19 safety and preventative measures, despite the discontinuation of the Disaster Risk Management Act, DRMA. The veteran dancehall DJ was speaking with reporters at the return of Retro Party series Mellow Vibes, held at Sabina Park in Kingston on Saturday. He emphasized the need for people to take personal responsibility in the COVID-19 fight and that we are still very much at risk. Bounty Killer added that continued vigilance is necessary and should be undertaken. I think some people believe that because of the freedom and restrictions that have been lifted, it is a signal that COVID is dying. I'm here to tell them this. No, that's a lie. Everybody has to be responsible and follow the protocols. We are thankful for the freedom to be outside again, but we must not sleep on the pandemic. It is still alive, so we have to party responsibly, he reported. When we can wear a mask, and when we don't have to, we don't. It's that simple. Some activities we take part in does. That requires us to wear a mask. For instance, how are we going to eat at a restaurant in a mask? Bounty Killer continued. In a virtual press conference on Thursday, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisosa Mackenzie said that the virus reproductive rate is now at 1.4, which indicates that it is increasing in the general population. Over the last couple of days, we have seen a steady increase in the number of cases. On Wednesday, April 27, we had a 14.8 positivity rate, which is the highest positivity rate that represents a steady increase over the last couple of days, she pointed out. There have been 129,978 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Jamaica to date, with 160 new cases recorded on Thursday. There have been 2,963 COVID-related deaths. After 2 years, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced lifting of all COVID-19 protocols under the DRMA, effective Friday, March 18. The measures were the government's main arsenal in the fight against the worst pandemic to hit the planet in 100 years. The measures included mandatory mask wearing in public spaces, night curfews, and the shuttering of the entertainment sector. Bounty Killer gave praises to the government for the reopening of the entertainment industry and saluted the operators of Mellow Vibes for yet another successful staging. I feel elated that the entertainment industry has reopened, and not only me, but everyone involved in the sector. They feel excited and grateful to be outside again. Mellow Vibes is not my first show since the reopening of the industry, but it is my first major concert in Jamaica. It was great. In fact, this was more than mellow, this was shallow. If you look around, you can see that the people were hungry for this type of recreational type of activity, he said. The DJ, whose real name is Rodney Price, explained that he plans to continue to build on the solid foundation he has established in the industry for over 25 years. I will continue to build on the legacy I have created by dropping my album King of Kingston later this year and going numerous tours internationally. I also have several local shows coming up in the summer, which includes Reggae Sunfest and Dream Weekend. You can expect them all, he added. Roadworks in Mineral Heights to begin this week. Long-awaited roadworks in Mineral Heights in South Clarendon are set to begin on Thursday. This was disclosed on Sunday by Member of Parliament for the constituency Pernell Charles Jr. via social media. He indicated that the decision was made following a meeting held with the contractor for the project Dutch Construction, Mayor of Maypen Winston Marage, President of the Citizen Association Ethel Brown, as well as other stakeholders. A representative from Dutch Construction indicated that the project will start off with pulling in curb walls. Expounding on the work, Marage said the focus will be placed on 4 of the worst affected streets in Mineral Heights until another aspect of the contract is approved. This delay has been inordinate and unjustified in my view, and we have to do everything to make sure that when we start Thursday, the job is done efficiently and that we work with the contractors to make sure that the job is done safely, Charles Jr. stressed. He stated that there will be oversight to ensure that the works are completed within 6 months. I am anticipating that the works will proceed as planned, said Brown. Opposition criticizes Portland Roadworks, describing the conditions on the main thoroughfare leading from Folly Road into Port Antonio in East Portland as the worst road that he has ever driven on. Opposition leader Mark Golden is appealing for more to be done to improve the conditions for the commuting public. Golden, who undertook a 2-day visit to the constituency of Eastern Portland on Thursday and Friday, was present at the launch of the technical zones of Machineel Primary and Infant School, where 10 laptop computers were handed over to that institution by a leader of the new millennium. The comments by Golden, who is also leader of the People's National Party, comes in the wake of ongoing roadworks on the eastern leg of the Southern Coastal Highway from St. Thomas to Portland, which continues to cause undue hardships for operators of public transportation and other motorists. I drove to the junction via St. Mary into Port Antonio, and I simply cannot believe that the road is in such a terrible state. I know it is development, which is well needed, but I am sure that the work could have been undertaken in stages, which would ease the plight of motorists and commuters, said Golden. From we left Port Antonio, it was the worst experience that I have ever been through on a road. The road is in most unbelievable deplorable condition, and it's not just for the short stretch. I mean all the way along until we got here, which is about 40 kilometers? The wear and tear on vehicles that have to traverse this route is quite shocking. And quite frankly, the work itself doesn't seem to be happening at any pace. There were large stretches where nothing was going on. According to Golden, who launched a sketching attack on the contractor of the Portland leg of the highway project, the way in which the roadway is being reconstructed could have been done in a more organized manner, so as to create some level of ease on the part of users of that thoroughfare, especially those transporting students to Happy Grove High School. He argued that because of the approach taken by the road constructors to dig up the entire roadway, operators of public transport no longer operate their buses or taxis throughout the entire day, as their vehicles continue to suffer significant damage, leaving hundreds of students stranded. I have never seen anything like this. It is absolutely terrible. The entire road has been basically destroyed. So instead of working on sections so that the rest of the road is not in a terrible condition, they have basically destroyed the entire stretch of road. From a planning perspective, it doesn't seem to be extremely chaotic, Golden further stated. Meanwhile, opposition spokesperson on education Angela Brunberg also weighed in on the matter and commented that it was a timely decision on the part of the Minister of Education Favour Williams to make available 5 buses to ease the plight faced by students attending Happy Grove, some of whom have been left stranded late at night as operators of public transport have reduced the number of trips to the eastern end of the parish due to the state of the main thoroughfare. Brunberg, however, argued that consideration will have to be taken to the teachers and the commuting public who are also affected by the bad road conditions. It will provide temporary relief for students, and it is laudable. However, consideration must be given for the teachers and other persons, she said. Protests by transport operators in Portland leaves dozens stranded. Taxi and minibus operators yesterday morning blocked the main thoroughfare leading from Boston to Port Antonio in Portland to protest over poor road conditions. The action by the operators left dozens of commuters, including students, stranded. The protesters used downed trees and other debris to block the road. A spokesperson for the irritated transport operation, Calvin Brown, told reporters via telephone that the situation is unbearable. He said this has been the worst by the ongoing roadworks being undertaken on the Portmore leg of the Southern Coastal Highway project. Brown argued that for several months drivers have been forced to use a 40-kilometer stretch of roadway which has been dug up by roadmen. He said the wear and tear on vehicles are taking a toll on the pockets of the operators. It takes us up to 2 hours to drive from Port Antonio to get into Machineel, which previously, even with the bad roads, was like 30-minute stops, Brown said. We believe in development and we are eagerly awaiting the new road, but it cannot be that workmen can just simply dig up the entire roadway from Hector River to Port Antonio without giving any consideration to the commuting public and other motorists. And the length of time it takes to get from one location to the other is time-consuming and is bad for business, he added. The protest action taken by the operators comes on the heels of a visit to East Portland by opposition leader Mark Golden last week, who also launched a scattering attack on the road contractors, labeling the present road conditions as the worst that he had ever seen. Education Ministry committed to promoting healthy lifestyles among students. The Ministry of Education and Youth says it remains committed to encouraging and promoting healthy nutrition and regular exercise among students to minimize the incidence of obesity. Speaking during activities marking National School Moves Day at Ferncourt High School in St. Ann on April 29, Portfolio Minister Favour Williams said data from 2017 Global School Health Survey showed that 65% of children ages 13 to 17 were overweight, while 26% were considered obese. She further referred the findings of the 2016 to 2017 Jamaica Health and Lifestyle Survey, which she said indicated that 1 in 2 or 54% of overall Jamaicans were pre-obese or obese. Williams said healthy lifestyle habits such as being physically active and eating well have proven to yield long-term dividends, adding that good nutrition is one of the cornerstones for enhancing learning. She noted that over the years, the Ministries of Education and Health and Wellness have partnered to develop policies and public education programs tailored to provide more nutritious options for the youngsters from the early childhood to high school levels. The minister said parents as well as teachers and school administrators have been engaged in the process in recognition of the fact that there must be a holistic approach in addressing this challenge, obesity. Williams said while hereditary and cultural norms were among the factors rendering children more susceptible to developing obesity, changes in lifestyle habits have also been influential. As such, she welcomed this year's staging of the National School Moves Day initiative. This, the ministry said, against the background of us coming out of the more serious effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting reduced physical activity and physical exercise programs that children normally engage in while at school and even in their communities. Williams said the initiative, which forms part of the Jamaica Move in school programs, aims to encourage children to be physically active and provides an opportunity to demonstrate the importance of doing so. She added that Jamaica Moves in schools was an early intervention program and among those designed to ensure that children participate in a minimum amount of physical activity daily en route to creating overall healthier lifestyles. We are happy to collaborate with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Association of Principals and Vice Principals of Secondary Schools, and the Jamaica Association of Primary and Infant Schools to encourage a healthier lifestyle among our student population. She added that while COVID-19 had severely impacted the program's implementation, we are committed to renewing the efforts to achieve the desired results, including encouraging children to get moving about even in their own home environments. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.